Hello, let's do Netflix Starstruck for March 7th. And I want to clarify the point of these videos isn't to go fast. The point of these videos is to learn as much as we can about how to solve these puzzles. People tend to watch these videos, not everyone, but people tend to watch these videos because they want to learn how to solve these puzzles better. And so if I spend time explaining something that's overcomplicating it, it's something that you might need to use in a future puzzle. So even if it wasn't needed in this one. And I also, just to give myself an excuse, I am seeing the puzzle for the first time, live solving it, and trying to explain my thoughts at the same time. So, and trying to make teachable moments and make it useful as a learning tool. So it's a bit frustrating to see all the comments that are like, you overcomplicated it, or you missed this simple thing, or all those things, which I don't mind people pointing out alternative solve routes, but there are nice ways to say it and there are mean ways to say it. So anyway, now that no one is watching anymore after the intro, let's do the easy and then the hard. And in the easy, I spend a lot more time explaining because I assume that if you need help with the easy, then you are newer to the puzzle and you would like to learn more about it. All right, anyway, this one's called Vikings. That's the easy. Well, then we'll do the hard. All right, so the way you play this game is we need to place stars, and we're going to place one star in each row, each column, and each colored region. Exactly one star. And so we're going to end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to end up with 7 stars on the grid. Now, the other thing is that we cannot put stars touching each other. So a star here and a star here would not be allowed because they touch each other. All right, so the first thing I'm seeing is look out for the 2-cell regions. When you have 2 cells left that touch each other like this, it's I think a lot of people will see that there's going to end up a star in one of these oranges, which is going to be the star for this column as well. So we can't put a star elsewhere, or we won't be able to put a star in orange. We have to put a star in orange. But what's a little bit less obvious, but easy to memorize, is that it also eliminates from these to the left and right of it. Because remember the no touch rule. So a star here would actually touch both of the oranges, and it would also do the row, but touching is enough for this. It would touch both oranges, and so we wouldn't be able to put a star in orange if we had a star in any of these. So that's our first elimination. The second thing that I see immediately are these 3-cell regions. So I like to kind of start with the smaller regions because they often have easy gimme X's, even if they're not ultimately needed. It takes a couple seconds to go through and with memorized small regions. So this straight line one, this blue one, is interesting. But if I do the blue one first, I won't be able to talk about the red one. So we're going to talk about the red one first. This L shape you'll see a lot, 3-cell L shape. And it eliminates from here. This one's probably the most obvious to see, which is that it touches all 3 reds. A little bit less obvious is it eliminates from here. This elimination here is because it shares a column with these 2 reds and touches this one. And so again, can't have a star. And then if we could go off the grid, this one to the right also would be out. Now, if we didn't do that one first, we could do the blue one first. And the blue one, you can see it's 3 in the same row. So the rest of the row is out. And then also this one touches all 3 blues. And now that we have this one out, this is our 2-cell pattern, the same as the orange. So we remove from the rest of the column and from this one. So now that this is down to 2, we remove from this one as well. Cool. This is now this L shape, so it eliminates from here. This one's already X'd out, and that one's off the grid. Okay. Is there an obvious next step? I'm actually looking here. So yeah, there is another step we can do, which is these yellows and these reds line up. Now, when I say line up, let me explain what I mean by that. So I'm going to draw 2 red lines here. And what we're doing is we're isolating these 2 rows. And I'm asking between these 2 red lines, how many stars are we going to have? And the answer is exact. The answer is we're going to have exactly 2 stars because there's 2 rows and there's 1 star per row. So if there's 2 stars, where can we find them? Well, there's sometimes forced stars right here, right? We're going to have a star on one of these 2. That is always going to be between the 2 lines. So if red is going to have a star, it will be between the 2 red lines. And so that's 1 star. And same with yellow. Yellow is going to have a star somewhere. Wherever it puts it, it's going to be between the 2 lines because we already X'd these out. So as a result, those are the 2 stars. We've kind of found them. One's in red, one's in yellow. So if you're not red or yellow, you don't get a star. And as a result, we place a star there, which now there's only one left in green, one left in blue, one left in red, two left in yellow. Is there an obvious next step? Yes. We have reduced indigo to just these two. That eliminates from here. So that's a star, that's a star, that's a star. And we're done. Right. This one, I don't think this is a plonker. It's close. But you have to, if anytime you have to do a lineup, I think that it's no longer a plonker because you have to be able to scan the lineup of the regions, and it's not even right away. Although there is a right away that you can do here, which is the bottom 3 rows can be done immediately. I usually don't look for that right away in the easies. Like I said, I like to do the formations first, and that reduced it. But you can see that yellow, red, and blue have to use the bottom 3 rows, and that gets you this orange immediately. All right. Let's continue to hard. For a few dollars more. All right. And there's a brown dollar sign in the center. Okay, so what am I seeing? I'm seeing the top row. It's going to place a star in indigo, meaning the rest of indigo can't have a star. One of these two is in. That's interesting. Are there any formations? Yeah, this one takes out of this only. I'm not really seeing more formations we can use. Oh, this one, this L shape. And I had a question about this. It doesn't matter how long the L is, as long as it's one little stick out. Because this here, like, watch what happens if I put a star. The entirety of yellow's out, right? Because it removes from the whole row and it touches that one. So we're not allowed to do that. That means this is X'd out. Okay, probably not super useful in this puzzle, but we'll see. You never know what's going to be useful, which is why I like to just start with the easy formations. Okay. Are there any columns of interest? Are there any lineups of interest? It's 1, 2, 3. Yes. The bottom 4 rows. We've got red is below it, this dark orange is below it, blue is below it, gray is below it. So if you're not those, then you are not a star. Okay, that's all 4. Okay, so now we're down to this. So we can eliminate like that. This red takes out of that. Did we improve the lineup at all? Not really. What did we get from this? Well, this now lines up with yellow. Oops. Orange and yellow line up, so these are all out. Okay, so these 2 rows are going to be brown and green. So this is kind of the opposite of lining up. This is saying, hey, I need 2 regions between these 2 lines to have a star, because I can't put 2 in brown, can't put 2 in green. So one's gonna be in brown, one's gonna be in green. That means the rest of green and the rest of brown aren't in. It just eliminates this guy. So we're gonna have to be blue or red in this row, blue, red, or gray in this row. Okay, so this is an interesting deduction here. Drawing squares can be really helpful, and this is a strategy that's used extensively in star battles that are 2 stars per row, column, and region, which this one never does. But we can draw squares, and we don't really need to draw this as a square, but I just kind of want to show. In these 2 rows, I can draw 2 squares that. So I guess I should say in a 2x2 square, you can only have 1 star. You can also have 0 stars, but you can't have more than 1 star in a 2x2 square because they'll always be touching each other. So what we can say is I have at most one star in this square and at most 1 star in this square. And if we look at these 2 rows, those are the only places that I can get stars from. So there needs to be 1 star in each of these squares. And so the immediate consequence here is that there's going to be a star in the reds up here. So these aren't stars. Now there's going to be a star in this L shape, which is actually kind of interesting because we can draw this square as well. And now we can do the same we can kind of do the opposite thing for these two columns, which is, sorry, so we've proven that this square has a star in it, and we know this square has a star in it. We proved this has a star in it because of the rows. And now we can use that and say there is one star in here. So there's definitely a star somewhere in this L shape, and there's definitely a star somewhere in this L shape, and those line up in kind of the traditional way. So we can eliminate all of these. Okay. Now this L, whoa, what did I just do? This L eliminates from that, just for posterity. Yellow is going to use this row, and that gives us the orange, which gives us the red, which gives us this blue for this row. See, it worked out. Gray, green, brown, indigo, dark orange, yellow. All right. Nice. I think that was a really nice way to analyze that. I'm sure in the comments there'll be people telling me there was this much easier way to do it, but I think that strategy is a really, really important one to kind of internalize. So I'm going to use that more often. And if you ever graduate to like the 2 stars per row, column, and region puzzles that are called star battles, using those squares to analyze regions can be extremely helpful. All right, cool. Well, let me know how you did. And if you enjoyed this, why don't leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.